Alright, so as I said before, Django gives us a default user model. But the thing is, that is not useful when it comes to when we are developing advanced application, okay, such as e-commerce, right? So what we want to do is we are going to make a custom user model, okay? So to do that, we first need to create a app, okay? So in our case, we will create a accounts app, okay? So let's go to this here in the code editor. So just go to this git bash window, and here python manage.py start app and say accounts, okay? So we will create this accounts app, and once the accounts app is created, the first thing we need to do is we just go to this installed apps and say accounts, okay? This is the first thing we always need to do, okay? So whenever we create this any app, all right? And next let's go to this accounts models.py, all right? So here we are going to create a account account model also, as well as we are going to create account manager, okay, which is to handle the custom user, okay, custom user model. All right, so before we create a class here, we just need to import few things here, okay? So the first thing is from django.contrib.auth.models import abstract base user, comma, base user manager, okay? These two things we need to import. All right, so now let's start creating the class for the model called account, okay? Now here what we will do is we need to extend this abstract base user, okay? So copy and paste it here. So for this account model, we need first name, last name, and email address, and username and the phone number, okay? So these 5 things are enough, okay, for this account model. Let's say first name, first underscore name, that is equal to that's equal to models dot char field. So here we need to say max length is equal to 50, okay? So let me copy this and do this for the last name also, last name. And next we need username, that's equal to models dot char field, max length is equal to maybe 50 again. This is a unique equal to true. And next we need email, this is equal to models dot email field, max length equal to 100, and again this is unique equal to true. The next one is the phone number, phone number is equal to models dot, let's say char field, and max length equal to 50, okay? Because we are doing a custom user model, we have to mention some required fields here. The first one is date joined, okay? So that is equal to models dot date time field auto nav add equal to true, okay? So same thing for last login. Okay, last underscore login, and models dot date field, date time field auto now equal to true. Now is admin equal to models dot boolean field default equal to false. Okay, so let's just copy this for 4 times, because the first one is admin, the second one is staff, so this staff is also default false, and the third one is active, the this default is equal to false again, and the it is super admin is equal to models dot boolean field default equal to false. Okay, so these 6 fields are actually mandatory when we are creating a custom user model. Okay, so once this is done, we need to set the login field, right? So currently by default username is our login field, right? So but in our application, in this application, we want to log in with our email address, not this the username. Okay, so for that, what we will do, we should say username underscore field is equal to email. Okay, so this is simple like this. When we set username field equal to email, then we will be able to log in as email address, log in with the email address. All right, the next one is require fields, required underscore fields, that's equal to so first of all, the email address is of course the required field, because this is the username, right? Username field is always a required field, and after that we also need this username to be a required field. Okay, and we also need the first name to be required field, and we also need the last name to be a required field. Okay, so once this is done, then come down and let's say def underscore str self, let's return this email address. Okay, self dot email. This just means that when we return the account object inside the template, so this should return the email address. Okay, so that's why we do this. All right, define str. Okay, so next we also need to define some the mandatory methods here. The first one is define as underscore perm. This is the permission, and first is a self permission comma object equal to none. So this one you don't have to remember this, just copy this if you get confused, because this one we must mention when we are creating a custom user model. Okay, so let's return the self dot is admin. Okay, so what it means is actually, so if the user is the admin, then he has all the permission to do all the changes. That's how it works. And we also need to specify a function called has module underscore perm. Okay, it is perms. Okay, then again pass self comma add underscore label. Okay, this should always be true, return true. All right, so that's it. Just save this one, and we just created this account model. Okay, so now we want to create a model for a super admin, right? So because currently we created a super admin, and we are still logging in with the username. So we want to override that. We want to create a custom user model, and we need to create a model for our super admin also. Okay, so here again, class space, let's say my account manager. So here let's extend base user manager. Okay, now we need to define some functions here. The first function is to create a user. Okay, so def create underscore user. Here we just need to pass some parameters here. The first one will be a self comma first name comma last name comma username comma email comma password equal to none. So now we need to raise an error when we don't get the username and the email address. Okay, so let's first check for if not email, then raise value error. Okay, so because this is mandatory, right? Email address, we must need that, otherwise we are going to raise an error. Let's say email address is let's say user must have an email address. Alright, so next the same thing for the username colon, again raise, if not username, again raise value error. User must have an username. Okay, alright, so now user equal to self dot model. Let's pass this email equal to self dot normalize, normalize underscore email, then pass this email comma the username equal to username comma the first name equal to first name comma last name equal to last name. All right, so that's I think that's all. Email, the last name. All right, so what this normalize underscore email does is, if you enter any capital letter email address, then it will just make it as a small letter. Okay, everything will be normalized. So that's why we just use this normalize underscore email method. Okay, and once this is done, let's say user dot set underscore password, pass the password inside this function. Okay, this set password is used for setting the password. Okay, so this is actually the inbuilt function, and let's save this user dot save. So here you have to say using equal to self dot underscore db, then you return the user. Okay, so that's all for the creating the user. So now we need to write the function for creating the super user. Okay, creating super sorry, this is create underscore super user. So in this super user, the same thing, like first thing is the self comma first underscore name, last underscore name, email comma username comma password colon. Now this is where we are using this create user method inside this create super user method. Okay, so what it does is it will take all the details from here and use this method to create the user. Okay, then set all the permissions required for the super user. So let's do that now. User equal to self dot create user method now. Okay, so this is the create user method. So here inside this, let's pass let's first pass email equal to self dot normalize email, that's email, comma username is equal to username, username, comma password equal to password, comma next is the first name, right? First name is equal to first name, comma last name equal to last name. All right, so this is the parameters accepted by this create underscore user method. Then once this is done, we need to give the permission, right? Because this is not the simple user, he is a super user. That's why we have to set all the permission to true. The first one is user dot is underscore admin is equal to true. Then user dot is active is equal to true. User dot the next one is the staff, right? I think staff equal to, sorry, is staff is underscore staff is equal to true. You don't have to remember all these things, you can just go to the Django documentation and you will get that. Okay, so this is just a simple user dot is super admin is equal to true. I think that's it. We just need to save it now. User dot save using equal to self dot underscore db. Okay, so now return the user. All right. Okay, so this is for creating a normal user, and this is for the creating a super user. Okay, so this is the account, and one more thing remaining here is we need to tell this account that we are using the my account manager for all these operations. Okay, so just say objects equal to my account manager. All right, so that's all. So now just go to this settings.py file. Where is it? Here it is, settings.py, and here somewhere here, okay, maybe after this wsgi, we need to tell the settings that we are going to use custom user model, right? So that's what we are going to tell here. Okay, so auth underscore user underscore model, that is equal to accounts dot account, because this accounts is the app name and the account is our you know, the model name. Here it is. Just save this one, and now we need to go to admin.py file, because we need to register the you know, register the model, right? We just created the model and we want to register this in the admin.py file, accounts and admin py. Here let's say let's just bring it first from dot models import account. So next admin dot site dot register, pass in this account model, All right, so now we need to migrate the changes. Before we migrate, we need to do one more important step, that is we first need to delete this existing database. Okay, because this database already contains our category and the before whatever we were doing before this lecture, those old data we don't want that, and old super user also we don't want that. We will just delete this database. Let me go to move to trash, and again, and here just see in the category app we have a migration folder, right? So what we'll do, we will just select this one and select these both files. Okay, delete it, we don't want these two also. Okay, so now the first thing is we need to run the python manage.py run server. Okay, this will give us error, but we are running this just to make sure our Django will create a new blank database. Okay, so we have an error, that's okay, but you see db.sql@3 is again created. Okay, so now let's stop the server by pressing Ctrl C, and we will just say python manage.py make migrations. Now hit enter. All right, so now it has detected our accounts app and the account model and the category model which was created before this lecture. So now let's say python manage.py migrate. Okay, now let me hit enter. All right, so everything looks fine, so the migration is also applied. So now this is the time to create a super user. Before we create a super user, let me just say let me just show you how the admin panel will look. Let's run python manage.py run server, right? Run server. So go to admin. All right, so now you can notice here, instead of username, it is asking for the email because we are using the custom user model, right? So now go back to, so currently we don't have any custom, the super user, right? So that's why we need to create one. So let me just stop the server, and the command is winpty python manage.py run server. Actually this python manage.py run server should work. If not working, then just add winpty, okay, like this. Otherwise sorry, this is not a run server, this is a create super user. Okay, if not working, then add this winpty, otherwise this should be fine. All right, so hit enter. The first thing it is asking now is the email address. So let me give my email address, developer.ratan@gmail.com. okay, so now the username is also it is asking, so let me say Django admin. Okay, now this time it is asking for the first name, right? So let me say Ratan, and last name also it is asking Ratan Kumar, and then it is asking for the password. Give any strong password. So when you hit enter, the super user is created successfully. Okay, so now this is the good time to run the python manage.py run server. All right, so this will not work again. Okay, so So now let's say the email address. This is my password and login. Alright, so I could now see the custom user model. Got it. So this is how it looks when you click on this developer dot the email address. You can see since this is a super admin, everything is checked because everything is true, right? But one problem here, that is the password should not be edited from here, right? So this is this currently it is editable, but we want this to be read only. Okay, so we will do that in the next lecture. Okay, thank you so much.